So good afternoon, everyone. Again, thank you for the invitation, Dr. Sharika, for even considering Lockheed Martin to be a part of this great day. My name is Derek McGowan, as they stated, and I'm going to try to spend about maybe 10 minutes talking to you more on a level of, after it's all said and done, now what are you going to do, right? So I'm going to give you some statistics and tell you a little bit about you, and then I'm going to talk. And this presentation today, I really want you to never forget. I've been doing this job for 12 years now. I've been with Lockheed Martin for 15 years. I retired out of the Air Force after 21 years of service in the military. And one of the things that I want you to listen to is the students in this room are what I classify as one percenters. One percenters. So let me give you some numbers. Every year in America, about 500,000 African American students graduate from high school. About 500,000 students graduate. Of that 500,000, about 35,000 have the math and science background that they can get into a STEM major or an engineering field. Of the 35,000, only 15,000 have the financial means and the funding to get to an institution to continue their education. Of the 15,000, only 5,000 graduate after a 4 to 5 year program. So if you look at 5,000 from 500,000, you are looking at 1%. So I congratulate you on being one percenters in this room, and we don't take it lightly that you had to go through all of that to get to where you are today. So now that you are here, what are you going to do next? After 4 or 5 years of education, are you going to allow one thing such as an attitude, a bad presentation, a disposition to all the things that you had to go through to get here today? Are you going to allow that to stop you from going to where you intended to go when you first started on this journey? So what I'm going to do is highlight about 7 things today of career-ending or career-limiting moves that can derail you after all the time you spent trying to get through 16 to 17 years of education. All it takes is one monkey to stop that show, all right? So don't let the monkey come out. That's what I'm going to say first, all right? All right, so a student at Tennessee State taught me well about 11, 12 years ago when I started doing the job. They said that they were sick of companies coming in, selling how good their company is, but never telling the student how to get in the company. I took that and learned that if we don't invest in you and we don't show you, then how will you know? How will you know where to sit at the table? How do you know who to applaud for, who not to applaud for? How do you know the politics? So what we want you to do is listen to some of these points that I'm going to make today, and maybe this will better strengthen you and give you more opportunities to succeed and excel in a corporate career if that's your desire. Number 1 is teamwork. You know, I was watching the presentations today, and of all the presentations, they were all professional, they were all sharp, they were all engaging, and when I was looking at those presentations, I was looking not at what you were thinking. You were thinking, are my slides right? Is my data right? Are my facts right? We were looking at your confidence in what you were presenting. For the young people who were presenting and they didn't get their project completed till over in the night, that's just like corporate America. You're not going to come to work and everything is going to be right on time. But you can't come there with a bunch of excuses. You have to deliver results. For the young ladies who were presenting on the deaf and those types of programs, for all those programs, the way you were dressed, I still remember the 2 young ladies in the blue dress or the blue outfits, how professional they looked, how they came across with confidence. Those are the things that make a lasting impression on a corporation. So you might be focusing on one thing, but at the end of the day, you have one shot to get it right for a corporation, right? You could have came in with the attitude of saying, well, I lost my freshman, we can no longer compete, there's no reason for us to do this. Don't let that derail you and stop you from what you set out to do. Number 2, your personal compromise. There are times where you just don't want to get up and go. You just don't want to do it. You have to be able to compromise and get out of yourself in order to make a successful career, a successful future in anything you do. So on the days that you don't feel like doing it are the days that are probably going to be the days you're going to get the most done. You just have to change your mindset and attitude and go in there and accomplish what you set out to do. The third thing I want to talk to you about is don't say no to what you don't know. A lot of times young people will come in and they'll say, no, I don't want to go to this location. I listened to Faith just now. No, I don't want to go to Minnesota. All right. No, I don't want to go to Oklahoma. And I don't want to offend anybody that's from those places. But hey, if something did happen where I did have to go, if I was going to learn something new, then I am ready to go. So I'm going to give you a personal testimony before I go from number 3 to the rest of them. But when I was in the Air Force, one of my assignments, I was in Spain for 3 years. Who would not like to live in Madrid, Spain? So I was living in Madrid, Spain for 3 years, and I got an assignment to Omaha, Nebraska. I started crying. And I said, who goes to Omaha, Nebraska, right? And so, yeah, you're going to leave Madrid, and you're going to go to Omaha. What are you going to do? So I took that assignment, but from there is when I started taking my education serious. I started getting my finances serious. I started taking things more serious because there really wasn't a lot to do out in Omaha. And so then, listen what happens. This recruiting team came in February, and the snow was about this high. They had snowbanks, and they came and they said to me, they said, "Hey, Derek, we're looking for recruiters in the Air Force. Are you interested?" And I said, "Well, where are you talking about going?" They said, "California." So I looked at the snow outside, and I listened to that presentation, and I said, "I'm going." So I spent 17 years in the Air Force as a recruiter, but I learned all types of techniques, of sales techniques, presentation, and it set me up for this job that I have now. And I'm going to tell you, I'm 54 years old, and I have never been on a job interview. I have never done a job interview because I learned how to network, and I've learned how to make myself presentable to where you're going to probably want to try to get that skill set on your team. You can do that. So don't look at these opportunities and look at them and say no. Look at them as an opportunity or a possibility and find out what can you get out of that assignment or that location. So a lot of young people don't want to go to locations. Try to get that out of your mindset and put that in your toolkit that I'm willing to go to learn something different. Number 4, there's politics in every position. If you don't learn the politics of the game, you're going to stay stuck. And the politics of the game could be learning just the basics, the nuances, the things what we call career limiting moves. If you get there and you think you know everything just because you're a college graduate, you have a hard road to hoe. So what happens is you have to understand that there are politics to where you sit at the table, who you speak to first, who do you open the door for, who do you go in front of. All those politics, you can't learn them out of a book. So you have to start talking and you have to start learning from each other and other people who, I like what she said about the Howard alum at Stanford. That person left a footprint for her so she don't have to make the same mistake. So get out of yourself and learn from someone who's already there, and that will help advance you and keep you from having one of those career limiting moves. Number 5, relationship building. If you don't understand the value of relationship building now, I don't see how you made it. So what relationship building is more than just a handshake. It is walking around a room. It is understanding people. Don't wait for the person to come to you before you start saying, "I'll build a relationship." I met Ms. King, I don't know how many years ago, but every time I come to campus, I will seek her out because we have that type of relationship. We have different relationships with different people because we've gotten outside of ourselves and intentionally made the attitude and mindset that I'm going to learn more about you. Like I met Taylor from Greenville, South Carolina, right? She went to Southside High. Give me a shout out for Southside. Southside. All right, so what happens is this. I flew in yesterday from a lot of people that attend Southside go to my church, and I took a picture of her, and I'm going to go back to her school and just put that out there that this is a Howard alum. You have to get outside. I would have never met her, didn't even know that, but you got to network like that in order to get opportunities. Is Lockheed Martin interested in Taylor? Yes, we are. Come talk to me, right? All right. So confidence is my 6th thing. If you don't have confidence in what you're doing, then why are you doing it? You have to be able to sell yourself without even saying anything. You can tell by the smile, by your position at the table, by your posture. You can tell the confidence of a person before they even say anything. Very rarely do you have to come up and say, "I'm very confident about what I'm doing." That exudes by the way you stand and position yourself in a place. So the young man that was presenting to Dr. Charika was saying how he just liked to hear his voice. I was sitting there going like this, man, I love the way this brother's presenting. And I was interested in talking to him. Is Lockheed Martin interested in you? Yes, we are. All right. So what happens is keep doing those things. Those are the things that sell. Not that anybody else's presentation did not sell, but there are certain things that stand out. The young man in the Navy who was standing there, I was watching him stand at parade rest. I made a military connection before he even started presenting. I was watching his position. Those are the nonverbal things that you're saying about yourself that tell someone, I'm confident, I know what I'm doing. You never know what people are looking at. So we're using this luncheon to tell you things that either could be career limiting or career opportunities for you. So I'm going to number 7. Learn how to network. And Faith, I had it down there before you even said it. So my feelings and my belief is you have to network to get work. And if you're a shy person and you're not confident and all these other things I talked about, then your networking skills might need to be polished. Networking is working the room, understanding who's who, reading the name tag. There's even an art of taking a business card. Did you know that there's a class on how to even receive a business card? It's an etiquette thing. There is not last night I went to dinner and the person handed me their business card. So I intentionally held their business card. I read it. I looked at what they did. Then one comment I made off of their business card sparked another conversation. They took my business card and put it in their pocket. It's not that it's a bad thing, but if you don't learn these things and you don't know that there's art to all of this stuff, no one's just going to quick print these cards up just so you can stick them in your pocket. Learn about what you're receiving. Learn about those types of things. Make a comment about it, and then you'll be surprised at what that sparks as the next level of conversation. And so number 8, finally I'll close with this. Always give back. There is no reason that you can stand here today and tell me that you don't owe this school something. They took care of you for however many years. Don't get into a corporation or a company and be that one person that don't remember where you came from. So always give back. I don't care if it's $25, $50, whatever you can do, always learn to give back. If it's not money, come spend some time. Take these freshmen, take these incoming students in summer bridge programs, work with them and mold them, because we're trying to get this future generation ready, and you're the best resource for that. So in closing today, I'll remind you that it ain't all about you, but it is all about you. And so with Lockheed Martin in closing, I just thank you for the opportunity to present, and I'm glad that you're here where you are. And again, we support your program, and we believe in you as a Howard University Bison. I say thank you. All right.